This video describes the interpretation of workplace health and safety legislation in a particular industry and in a particular state. But the interpretation is very similar across many industries and across all states in Australia. What is work health and safety? Many claims are filed for injuries at work, and so a culture of being supportive is encouraged. Let's have a look at some of the legislation. It stems from an Act, in this case 2011, but these acts are regularly updated, and the regulations. We all have a duty of care for ourselves and our colleagues. The employer must provide a safe workplace, and we all have a primary duty of care for ourselves and colleagues. Let's look at some health and safety issues. How do we find out about the information? Well, we can attend meetings, training, we can look at newsletters, and we can talk to our colleagues. Some particular hazards. The hazard first has to be spotted, assessed, changes made to minimize the risk. Safety practices. Emergency procedures. We're all familiar and been trained in evacuation procedures if there is an emergency. In the hotel industry in particular, they have training for fire, medical, robbery and bomb threats. But in every job there are particular emergency measures that we are trained in. Using the right fire extinguisher, Class A, Class B, Class C, Class E and Class F, depending upon our jobs. We have to know how to operate the extinguisher correctly. We have to look after our personal safety at work, and getting to and from work, going to and from our cars, if we are dealing with customers, handling cash. Workplace harassment. We have to know the procedure for this. Who do we report it to? What action do we take? Handling, lifting, avoiding accidents. And this applies to many jobs where manual handling takes place. We all have slips and trips, but at work the hazards must be minimized. Kitchen safety applies to the hotel industry, but obviously similar surroundings with chemicals, high voltage, gases, equipment, we have to follow the safety procedures to minimize hazards. Electrical safety applies everywhere. What do we do in case of electric shock or dangerous or potentially dangerous equipment? Report to our supervisor or manager. When dealing with customers in the retail industry, there are particular precautions that have to be taken. When involved in storage with carbon dioxide and other chemicals and gases. Many jobs require protective clothing. As students, you are asked to wear protective clothing in a laboratory and workshop, so you will be familiar with some of this. So to summarize, it's everybody's business. We report things to our managers and ask. Thank you for your attention.